I never imagined a quick stop at the gas station could spiral into a scene straight out of a reality TV show. But when you live in a neighborhood ruled by someone like Melissa Harper, the self-proclaimed queen of the Willow Grove Homeowners Association, chaos is always lurking. Last Tuesday evening, after pulling a grueling double shift as a radiologic technologist, all I wanted was to fill up my tank, head home, and collapse with some reheated pizza. But fate and Melissa had other plans. It was around 7:30 p.m. when I rolled into the Quick Stop, a quiet little station just outside our subby VY Shown. I've been coming here for years, and it's usually a no-drama zone. As I pulled up to pump number 4, I noticed yellow caution tape wrapped around it like a crime scene, with a bold red sign screaming, "Closed for maintenance." No big deal, I thought. I just back up and slide over to another pump. But before I could shift gears, my phone pinged with a text from my sister about Dad's birthday plans. Figuring no one was around, I took a second to type a quick reply. That's when the world exploded, or at least it sounded like it. A car horn blasted, not a polite beep, but a long, obnoxious wail that made me jump so hard I nearly dropped my phone. I glanced in my rear VY mirror, and there it was, a gleaming silver BMW SUV that had appeared out of nowhere. The horn stopped, then started again, this time in short, angry bursts like Morse code for "I'm losing it." I knew that SUV. It belonged to Melissa Harper, the HOA president who'd made it her life's mission to police every blade of grass in Willow Grove. Just last month, she'd slapped a notice on my door because my recycling bin was VY Cybele for 3 extra hours after pickup. "Move it now," she yelled, her head poking out her window, her sleek blonde ponytail bobbing with every word. Some of us have actual lives. I rolled down my window, keeping my voice steady. "The pump's closed for maintenance, Melissa." I was about to back up. Her face twisted like I'd just insulted her entire existence. "Then do it. Stop sitting there texting like an idiot." She laid on the horn again, so loud it could have woken a coma patient. A young clerk, Josh, poked his head out of the station, looking like he'd rather be anywhere else. "Everything okay out here?" he asked, eyeing Melissa's BMW and my beat-up Honda. "No, it's not okay," Melissa snapped, her voice dripping with venom. "This guy's hogging the pump while he plays on his phone. I have places to be." I pointed at the sign. "Pump's out of order." I was MOVYing when she pulled up and started honking. Josh nodded nervously. "Yeah, ma'am, that pump's down for maintenance. If you back up a bit, he can move, and you can use pump 3. But Melissa wasn't hearing it. Her cheeks flushed crimson as she gripped her steering wheel like it owed her money. "That's nonsense. I was here yesterday, and that pump was fine. He's just making excuses." Josh tried again. Bless him. "Ma'am, I promise, the pump's broken. We've got a tech coming tomorrow." Melissa's eyes zeroed in on his name tag. "Josh, is it?" "I'm the president of Willow Grove HOA, and I know when someone's lying to me. Give me your manager. Now." By now, another Karen older lady in a minivan had pulled up behind Melissa, looking baffled. I decided to take charge. "Look, Melissa, if you move over a bit, I'll squeeze past and get to another pump." That's when things went from bad to unhinged. Melissa threw her BMW into park, flung off her seatbelt, and stormed out like she was auditioning for a VY Lane role. She marched up to my window and banged on it with her fist, her massive diamond ring clinking against the glass. "Listen to me," she hissed as I reluctantly rolled the window down again. "I know exactly who you are. You live on Maple Lane, and your mailbox was faded last spring. You're blocking this pump on purpose to ruin everyone's day." I stared, dumbfounded. "Melissa, there's a closed sign right there." I pointed at the red and white sign taped to the pump. She spun around, stomped over to the pump, and, I kid you not, tripped the sign off, crumpled it into a ball, and tossed it to the ground like it was trash. "There, it's not closed anymore," she said, flashing a smug grin that made my skin crawl. Problem solved. Josh had darted inside and returned with an older guy in a Quick Stop manager shirt, who looked like he'd seen it all. The lady in the minivan had managed to back up and escape to another lane. But now 2 more cars were waiting, their drivers gawking at the meltdown unfolding. "What's the problem here?" the manager asked, his eyes flicking to the crumpled sign on the ground. Melissa launched into a tirade, pointing at me like I was public enemy number one. This man's blocking the pump and refusing to move. Your employee backed his ridiculous story about the pump being closed, but there's no sign anywhere. The manager glanced at the crumpled paper, then back at Melissa, one eyebrow raised. Ma'am, did you remove our sign? What sign? She scoffed, crossing her arms. And even if there was, this is absurd. I'm a paying customer. I demand Ser VYC. I'll report this place to the Better Business Bureau and tell all of Willow Grove to boycott you. The manager didn't flinch. Ma'am, you're on private property. That pump is closed. See the caution tape? You've damaged our property by Remo VYing the sign, and you're blocking other customers. Move your vehicle and leave, or I'm calling the police. Melissa's face went from red to a shade of purple I didn't know existed. I will not. This is discrimination, and I know my rights. I run Willow Grove HOA. Do you know who I am? The manager just pulled out his phone. Good, Melissa shouted. Call them. I'll tell them how you and this jerk treated me. She jabbed a finger at me. The next 15 minutes felt like an eternity. Melissa paced between our cars, muttering about lawsuits and threatening to have the HOA audit my lawn. I sat there, engine off, wondering how my life had come to this. More cars pulled in, saw the circus, and either waited or peeled out. When the police finally arrived, lights flashing, Melissa rushed them like they were her personal security team, pointing at me, Josh, and the manager while spewing her version of events. The manager calmly pointed out the caution tape, the crumpled sign, and the security cameras overhead. An officer approached me. Sir, what happened? I explained, keeping it short, and he asked me to stay put while they sorted it out. In my rear VYEW mirror, I watched Melissa's conversation with the cops go from bad to worse. She insisted she was the VY Tim, that we were all conspiring against her, that she had every right to use the pump. When an officer told her to move her car, she yelled, I'm not MOVYing until he does, loud enough for the whole station to hear. The officer's voice stayed calm. Ma'am, the pump's closed. Move your vehicle now, or you'll be cited for causing a disturbance. That's when Melissa lost it completely. She stepped right up to the officer, inches from his face, and shouted, I pay your salary. You work for me. When he repeated the order, she shoved him not hard, but enough and snapped. Get out of my way. I'm getting gas. In a flash, both officers moved in. One took her arms, guiding them behind her back, while explaining she was being detained. Melissa screamed, twisting and flailing. This is assault. Police brutality. I want my lawyer. The handcuffs clicked, and her shrieks echoed as they led her to the patrol car. One officer returned to re-VYEW the security footage with the manager, then came back to me. You're free to go, sir. Sorry for the hassle. Can you swing by the station tomorrow for a statement? I nodded, finally backing up, fueling at another pump, and watching Melissa glare from the patrol car's back seat. The manager walked over as I finished. Sorry about that, he said with a weary grin. We're getting bigger signs and cones tomorrow. Clearly, we need him. 2 weeks later, a subpoena arrived, not an HOA violation for once, but a summons to testify at Melissa's hearing. She'd been charged with disorderly conduct, trespassing, and resisting lawful instructions. The security footage showed everything. Her ripping the sign, show VYing the officer, the whole meltdown. At the hearing, Melissa looked like a deflated version of herself. No designer clothes, just a plain blazer. The judge handed down 40 hours of community SARE VYC, a DULA 500 fine, and a 1-year ban from Quick Stop. Her face was pure shock, like she couldn't fathom consequences applying to her. The real kicker? The next week, Willow Grove's HOA held an emergency meeting, and Melissa was ousted as president in a near-unanimous vote. Turns out, the gas station fiasco was the final straw after years of a reign of terror. The new president sent an email promising a kinder, more collaborative neighborhood, all because someone couldn't read a senior wouldn't. So what do you think? Was Melissa's meltdown just a bad day? Or does power like hers in an HOA breed this kind of chaos? Should the police have let her off with a warning? Or was the arrest the wake-up call she needed? And let's get real, have you ever dealt with a Melissa in your life? Drop your thoughts below, Hit that like button if this story got your blood pumping, and subscribe for more wild tales. Let's keep this conversation going.